Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for those of you who are new around here, my name is Kay. I'm from South Africa and I'm currently a teacher in South Korea. For those of you who are returning subscribers and know who I am already, hey, what's up? So I wanted to say thank you so much. We just hit 1,000 subscribers like I think almost a week ago. But yeah, I'm just very grateful, and thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed. I appreciate every single watch, view, whatever you want to call it, like, comment, subscription. It just all really means a lot to me, so thank you very much. Yeah, if you are watching this video is about why you should teach English abroad. So obviously I'm in South Korea, so a lot of what I'm saying is from the perspective of being in South Korea, but I wanted to make it kind of a general video that can apply to anyone who's thinking about it. Okay, so just a disclaimer, this video is for people who are genuinely interested in teaching English, not necessarily people who want to just go on a vacation for like a year, because that's not the reality. The travel is a very big plus, but it's not everything. And so I just want to make the disclaimer that I am in no way saying that everyone should go teach English abroad. It's really not as like it looks like a lot of fun, but like it's an actual job with a lot of hard work, and you need to be very dedicated and actually have a passion for teaching in children. So if you are not that person, please don't do it, because children deserve better. They are real humans with real emotions, and they can pick up on their teachers' moods and just the quality of education that they're getting. So this is only for people who are very serious about becoming teachers. I mean, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be like your career path. That wasn't mine, but I just mean people who acknowledge the fact that for 5 days out of the week possibly you're going to be doing this job, and then the remainder of that is all of the adventure and stuff that you see advertised. So yeah, just a quick disclaimer. Second disclaimer, this video is not about making a quick buck. That is not why I'm making this video. I'm just making it for somebody who has maybe never considered the option and is maybe sitting unemployed but with the ability to teach English. You know, maybe you'd be a really great English teacher and you just never thought about it. So that is who this video is for. Okay, so I'm going to jump straight into it. The first reason why you should teach English abroad is because it is something you are, if you are a native speaker, already qualified to do. You can already speak English as a native speaker, and so you're qualified to do the job. You do still need to get a certification, so that's like a little technicality, but I mean, it's not like studying a 3-year degree type thing. I think my course that I did took 6 months. I had 6 months to complete it online, but there are people who can finish it within like a month. So you do have to do a certification. It's called a TEFL certification. TEFL stands for Teaching English as a Foreign Language. It's the same thing as a TESOL, which is the other name for TEFL, which is Teaching English as a Second Language. And you just need to do, majority of those are like online courses. There can be in-person classes, but I don't know how that's working now considering current global situation. But I did, like, for example, I did a certain amount of hours online and then a certain amount of hours in person. So yeah, you do need to do that qualification. Basically what it is that it's kind of like a refresher course for like actual grammar points of English. And then it also teaches you English from the perspective of someone who is educating a non-English speaker on how to speak English. So not the way that you learned English in a native country, but somebody who is learning it as a second or third or fourth language, how to teach them English. And also, if you've never taught before, it will teach you things like classroom management, time management, things like that. Leveling your materials, leveling your instructions that you give in class, stuff like that. So for those of you who do not know how to go about this, there are a lot of companies that offer a TEFL course. The company that I would recommend is ITTT. I personally used a different company, but when I speak to, I know a couple of successful alumni who used ITTT to get the jobs that they had in China, Korea, Japan. When I speak to them, I kind of wish I used ITTT in comparison to the company that I used. So what's cool about ITTT that a lot of companies don't offer, some do, some don't. But what's cool about them is that they have a number of courses, online courses, and they do have in-person courses. Or you can do combined courses. You can do a certification or a diploma. There's just a whole lot of options. And so these courses, you can pick a course that suits your needs and your like study personality. So there are shorter courses for a certain amount of money, and then there are longer courses for a certain amount of money. You can choose to either self-study a course, or you can choose a course that comes with a tutor that you can speak to and ask questions. So that just depends on your study personality. If you like someone explaining things to you in detail and that you can ask a lot of questions, and you go with the tutor option. If your study style is more like me, you can just study by yourself. But yeah, it goes according to how many hours you would like to do the course for. Usually when you apply for a job, sometimes they will say that they prefer if you had a certain amount of teaching, like if your course was a certain amount of hours, or you have a certain amount of teaching experience in terms of hours. So you can choose according to that. And there's a very big price range. Like there are a lot of different price ranges for a lot of different courses. The other cool thing is that they offer specialization courses. So if you are specifically going to teach English online, they have a number of courses for doing just that. So that's the company that I would recommend. I will leave a link in the bio to their information, and you can take a look at that. If you would like to apply for a course through ITTT, then I have a discount code that you can use to get 15% off. I'll leave that in the bio as well. You can just click that when you apply for your course and you will get a 15% discount. This is not a sponsored video. Yeah, so that is who I would recommend if you still need to get your TEFL course. After your TEFL course, it's just a matter of applying for jobs because now you're qualified. The cool thing about a TEFL qualification is that you don't only have to use it for teaching English. I mean, that's its main purpose, is for helping you teach English abroad. But let's say you apply for another job abroad. Some jobs I've seen, their job requirements will say like it helps if you have a TEFL certificate, because it verifies the level of English, like the level of ability you have in the English language, for example. So it's actually just a really good qualification, I think, to have if you are planning to work internationally as well. Okay, so the second reason that you should teach English abroad is because you get to experience a new culture and you get to live in a new society that's probably very different from your own culture. So once again, don't get hung up on this idea of traveling. I mean, that is a really big part of it, but you need to remember that in most cases, 5 days of the week you're gonna be working, and after work you'll only have a certain amount of hours to do certain things. And so you need to keep that in mind. A lot of people, I think, enter this with the idea of fulfilling their travel fantasies, but realistically, time-wise, you know, you only have the weekends and your vacation periods to do that. So once again, you need to actually have a passion for teaching to do this. But a huge perk of this is being able to travel and being able to experience a different culture and a different society, which, you know, thus opens different perspectives and things like that, but we'll get to that. Yeah, and also if you're like me, so I'm from South Africa, moving to Korea means that I'm closer to a lot of countries that I wouldn't have thought to travel to. Like, there are the obvious ones, like, you know, your Japan, Vietnam, Taiwan, but there are a lot of other countries that I'm really close to that I wouldn't have thought of traveling to. I mean, obviously right now I can't travel, but yeah, you know, just things like that. Or also right now I can travel within Korea and see a lot of places that maybe I wouldn't have seen because I would have been too focused on trying to travel abroad. So yeah, that's one of the really cool perks of being an English teacher abroad, is being able to travel and see new places. And you know, even if it's the weekend and right, it's this kind of situation, like just going to another city is still traveling. So you're seeing a place you've never seen before. So I think that's a really amazing part of it. A third reason that I think you should teach English abroad is you get to develop a lot of things about yourself through all of these cultural lessons that you learn from being in a different country with different kinds of people. Even the expats that you meet will be like from diverse countries and have different ideas and different ways of thinking. You get to expand your cultural perspective, your mindset. You get to learn a lot about other people and thus a lot about yourself, a lot about how other people think versus how you think, and maybe adjust some of the ways that you think. And you know, you get to exit your comfort zone. You're in a country where nobody knows you. You probably don't have a support system, and so you have to build your own support system. And it teaches you a lot about yourself. It teaches you how to be independent. It teaches you just a lot of things. So there's a lot of potential for like personal growth, because I personally feel like you can't grow inside of your comfort zone. Once you're out of your comfort zone, you're forced to make a lot of decisions. And so I think teaching abroad is a really good opportunity for that. Especially in teaching itself, you learn, teaching somebody who doesn't speak the same language as you, who's learning the language that you speak, teaches you to be a way better communicator. You might think that you're a very clear communicator until you speak to someone who doesn't have the same fluency level as you in a language. Then you realize how to speak simply, clearly, in super effective ways, and you learn how to say a lot in a very little space of time, I suppose. I don't know if that makes sense, but you basically become a better communicator. Not like right now, but yeah, you do learn that skill. You feel it in the classroom when you communicate, and you see your students picking up what you're saying a lot faster. So yeah, even your colleagues and so on and so forth. So that's another cool thing. Number 4, the fourth reason why you should teach English abroad. A lot of countries, because they want these native speakers to come to their countries and they want to give you an incentive to come work in their country, have a lot of benefits for foreigners who teach English. This varies country by country, obviously, according to that country's resources and just their beliefs, I suppose. But for example, in Korea, a good portion of your medical insurance is covered and free. Americans, I don't know which countries, but South Africa doesn't apply to us, have like pension plans. You have a rent-free apartment where all you pay for is your living expenses, so you get to save a lot of money. You have certain things in your contract that you get access to for free. For example, when I moved into my place, there was no TV, but it's in my contract that I should have one, so my school bought one for me. Saved me the expense, and now I get access to information for free. And yeah, there's just a lot of benefits, but it really depends on the country. I think it's Japan, I'm not sure, I've just heard this, I haven't fact-checked this or anything, but there you would get like a housing allowance. I mean, in Korea you can choose to get a stipend instead of getting a rent-free apartment and then find your own place, but I think in Japan you just automatically get a housing allowance. Again, I think, I'm not sure, and then you must find your own place, I think. I'm not sure how it works, but like, yeah, it's just different resources in different places, but usually there are a lot of benefits to a job like this because they want to give you a reason to come and teach English in their country. So that's another cool thing about it, is that you might get more benefits than you are getting in a job back at home. And then the fifth reason why you should teach English abroad, and this is kind of the obvious one, but I feel like it shouldn't be the main focus, but it is just honestly a reality, especially the way that the economy in most of our countries are set up right now. There's huge money earning potential, and the reason I say that is because above money earning potential, there's huge saving potential. When you live in your home country, you tend to have a lot of things that you have to pay for, whereas, for example, in Korea, I don't pay rent, I don't have a car, so I don't have to pay a car installment or petrol, and so my saving potential is a lot more than if I were in South Africa and I lived in a flat and I had a car and all of these things that I have to pay for. Also, I think the minimum wage makes your earning potential more depending on where you're from. So some of my American friends, for example, have said that they're not actually earning that much more in Korea. You know, they're more here because they want to be and less about the money. Some of them, of course, this is not everyone, because the minimum wage I think is kind of similar, or the American minimum wage is more, I'm not sure. But for example, in South Africa, the minimum wage is like, the Korean minimum wage is I think 4 or 5 times more than the South African one. And so your earning potential is huge. Like, you could possibly be earning 3 or 4 times the salary you were earning in South Africa for maybe a similar amount of work, even if it's not the same industry. So there's also that. There's really huge earning potential and really huge saving potential. But then again, on a different note, the saving potential would be different depending on the country you're in. So in Korea you can save a lot of money, but maybe in Japan, I hear they earn more than English teachers in Korea, but the cost of living in Japan is a lot higher. So the saving potential isn't the same, even though the earning potential is more. So just those are things to think about, you know, when you're deciding which country you want to go to. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people have been able to pay off the debt that they have in their home countries in like a year or two. So that's another really good reason, I mean, tied into the same one. And just, you can very easily, depending on how you live and your lifestyle and your spending habits, you can save like up to 6 figures in a year living in Korea. When I say 6 figures, I'm talking in rands. I don't know how that translates to dollars and won, but yeah, it's very much possible. So yeah, huge earning potential and huge saving potential teaching English abroad. But yeah, other than that, it's just the pure joy of the job. You know, you get to do something that maybe you weren't doing before if you weren't a qualified teacher before. I was in film school, so there's that, and I was freelancing, so it's very, very different way of working. So it's a cool experience, learning a lot of new skills, and you know, just adding experience to your CV. And you just, yeah, you get to just have this experience in a new country. What's cooler than that? So yeah, I don't know, I kind of just made this video because I feel like, especially now because of Corona, a lot of people are sitting unemployed and a lot of people are losing their jobs, and you know, traveling is a little bit iffy right now, but it's not impossible. There are still new people going to teach abroad in different countries, so it is still possible. And if not that, you can teach English online as well. But I just wanted to make this video for people who maybe just have the potential to be English teachers abroad but just never thought about it. And I just wanted to encourage you and say, like, these are the reasons why you should do it. Obviously there are a lot of things that you need to think about, and it's a lot of planning and it can be very stressful. But if you have any problems like that, you can ask questions in the comments that you're curious about. You can email me, and yeah, just, you can get into contact with me and I'll try my best to help you. I've had a few people contact me and it seems helpful to them. I'm not sure when I respond, but I do the best that I can. So yeah, I just kind of want to be a resource to people out there who never considered the option, especially South Africans, because I know, especially graduates, it's a little bit difficult right now to find a job. So, you know, if you're young, and I mean, you don't have to be young, there's age cutoffs, but you know, if you just are struggling to find a job right now, consider this as an option. But yeah, if you found this video helpful or you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, please subscribe. And if you have any video requests or ideas or things you're curious about, please leave those in the comments. I'm also going to be making a 1-year update video. And so if you have any questions for that video, I'm going to combine it into a Q&A, so you can leave those down in the comments as well, and I will answer them in that video. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.